Hello. Welcome to the show, guys. And for all of you rewatching this video, hello to you too. Good afternoon, top of the morning. Sort of, if it's the morning. Who knows? Hi, I'm Nakisa. I will be hosting your happy hours today, and I'm drinking a very lovely tea. Say hi in the chat for me if you want to. I see Susan. Hi, Susan. If you can hear me and see me, let me know if there are any questions. I am all ears. Hello. Oh, there's reverb? Interesting. Very interesting. Hey, Cash. Not to be confused with my dog, Cash. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling. I am now the resident HoloLens expert in the Circus Dream house. So if you want to know anything about the HoloLens, you can ask them now. Now, if I don't respond immediately, it's not because I'm terribly aloof. It's because there's a little bit of a lag here. Alrighty. First question is, by Susan, what's my favorite HoloLens for fun app? Ooh, okay. So there is, so you have to do like a little bit of a workaround to get this onto the HoloLens, but it's called Kirby's Escape Experience. Love it. I love it. And it wasn't actually made in Unreal. It was made in, what am I saying? It wasn't actually made in Unity. It was made in Unreal. So this app is really, really cute. I wonder if I can bring it up here. Experience HoloLens. Kippies. Sorry, not Kirby. Kippy. English. So let's see if I can. And Microsoft's documentation also has like it's really great in what it does. In that it has documents on their design process here. So if you're ever interested in creating one of these things, you can read all about this. So Kippy's Escape Experience. So it's this little robot that's stranded on this little island that's sort of floating in your room there, and it's beautiful. It's very well designed, and it's just like it's super cute. And it gets people to like move around the space and like realize that like, oh, I am working in 3D now, interacting with a digital object that waves at me and is super cute. And so that's one of my favorite experiences. And it looks like, oh, there he is. There he is. He's so cute. Such cuteness. But yeah, so you have to help him escape the planet in the same way that Elon Musk is helping us escape Earth. So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. Ooh, there is another question. My favorite HoloLens aspect. Oh, where do I begin? The HoloLens is just like a fantastic experience. It's definitely one of the headsets that's probably going to be like a game changer in about like maybe about 3 to 5 years, I would say. 3 to 5 years, I would say that it's going to change like construction, mining, the mining industry, especially, like all those things. And my favorite aspect about the HoloLens is like, that's hard. Ah, it's like picking your favorite children. They're all of my favorite, but one is more favorite than the other. Um, I would have to say the articulated hands. The hands are absolutely the best of class. There is no other device out there that can track your hands to the precision that the HoloLens does, and that's wonderful. I love it. Oh yeah, I could definitely place that Kippy's experience documentation there for you. Big Scramble, Big Scramble, 2012. Oh God, what happened in 2012? Did you scramble some eggs? There is another question here. I am only aware of Euphoria and ARKit at the moment. What are other packages, APIs that one can use to create XR, AR experiences? Okay, so if we are talking about AR experiences, there is Vuforia and ARKit. There is also AR Foundation. AR Foundation is what I really like to use because it is cross-platform and you don't have to pay for it like Vuforia. You can be as piratey as you like, and also as creative as you like. So there is AR Foundation. There is MRTK. Actually, MRTK can also be used for AR experiences. The design of MRTK is generic enough that you can use like different platforms. I think it now supports Quest 2, so that's it's a nice package. It has like a little bit of a steep learning curve, but guess who's an expert that you're talking to right now? I use the term expert very loosely. Ooh, here's a good question. If I were an XR headset, what would you be and why? I would be Apple's AR headset. Because nobody knows what it looks like right now. or maybe I would be like Sega's old outdated one, because sometimes my brain is really, really slow to move. And it's like, it takes a little bit longer to process in the morning. If someone like asks me a question, I'll just sit there for like a good 2 seconds and be like, oh, right. Ooh, good question. Opinions on the most promising applications for AR. Probably a combination of two things. One is LiDAR, and the other is actually any application that has to do with visualizing GIS data. The mining industry has typically been one of the fastest industries to adopt new technologies for visualization. And that means like they were one of the fastest to adopt like drone photogrammetry. They were the fastest to adopt like similar technologies like that. So if you really want to see how fast visualization technology can be adopted, I'd definitely take a look at what the mining industry is looking at. VR pun generator. You know what? What do you call a lazy kangaroo? A pouch potato. Okay, there is another question about the HoloLens. What are some of the less known popular uses and applications for the HoloLens? Ooh, some less known applications. Less known applications. There's a really neat painting application on the HoloLens. It's really cool. Now, I'm gonna have to think about that. That's a good question. The HoloLens is a headset that's geared towards like industrial applications. So like big industries like architecture, construction, engineering, that sort of stuff. Yeah, good question. I'd say anything that has to do with the arts. Susan, yes, you are correct. Aprana, the MR toolkit is a really good one. Can you suggest the best place to find freelancers who could create NLP into AR or VR environments for a proof of concept? Ooh. ArtStation. A lot of people put their work and portfolios on ArtStation, so you can pick and choose some of those stuff. But be warned, you could get lost. You could get lost in people's souls that they put into their art. I get lost. Pull the lever for a pun. Let's see. What is this one? What is cool is aviation mechanics, like preparing turbines. Yes, that is cool. That is very, very super cool. There's a big gap between I don't want to be ageist here, but I'm going to say it. Old, technically skilled people in the trades. There is a big gap between like the people who have worked in the trades for years and years and years, and they're genuinely experts in what they do. There's and the new people that are joining the field. There's a huge gap between that and like people learning the trades right now. And so one of the biggest things is knowledge transfer. And the HoloLens is definitely going to help with that knowledge transfer. So we're talking about like heads-up displays about the next step that you have to repair, or something that has been identified that you need to inspect. And then having like your hands free and you're just seeing on the HoloLens, seeing on any sort of like heads-up display, and going through the process there. Oh, let's see. Canada Post. What would you like to post? As Harry Potter would say, there's no post on Sunday. David, old school people. Training for CPC. Oh, interesting. I wonder how that's going to be automated in the future. So one of the things that I've been working on is actually connecting like little microcontrollers. Microcontroller is like this little guy. Yeah, there it is. An Uno. It's a very, very neat little device, very powerful. So there is a way. Let's just move that. Let me see. So there is a way that you can connect your IoT devices to the HoloLens. Now, I don't necessarily have to write your own libraries for these things because that's a pain in the butt. So you can just like use a plugin, use something like that, and it's great, works great. So that's what I've been messing around with in terms of connecting things to HoloLenses. Now, if you hear whining, that's my dog, and he sees that there is a cookie in my hand, and he is very interested in it. He is so interested. But you know what? He's been a little bit of a brat. Do you guys want to see him? Here, let's see. See if he'll do the thing. Okay, you ready? I wonder if he's still in. Ready, Cash? Come on, up. Oh. You want it? You want it? Come on. Okay, up. Up. Oh, I'm just getting him riled up. Okay, over here. You ready? Up. 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 There we go. There he is. This is my dog. And he is. Oh. Okay. So yes, this is the. Let's see. How did I get interested in the XR development? What was the question? There's the question. Oh, puppy. How did I become interested in XR development? Good question. I was originally captivated by a headset that I'm sad to say has technically failed. It was the Magic Leap. So it was, I think it was 2018 where Magic Leap announced that it was selling. And I saw a trailer for something called Tonandi. And Tonandi is a musical experience in the Magic Leap headset. And Tonandi was created in conjunction with this Icelandic band called Sigur Rós. And Tonandi, the name of this roughly translates to sound spirit or sound spirits. And so this application is like you could interact with these little ethereal things in the world, in the digital world that weren't there, and they were just like created there procedurally, and it was interesting, and it was magical. It was literally magic. And so that's what originally got me interested in XR development, because like, oh my God, who doesn't want to make magic? Yeah, and that's when I became interested in XR. Good question. If Elon Musk asked me to drill a hole in my head to become a cyborg, would I let him? I don't trust Elon Musk. I don't trust him. But you know what? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes just for shits and giggles. I don't know what he's going to do, but you know what? Let's do it. I think now we're in the age of like the environment is changing faster than humans or animals or things can naturally adapt to. So there is like this philosophy of like being transhuman, meaning that we are taking our own evolutionary progress into our own hands, and we do that by technology. So like, do I want to become a cyborg? You know what? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I would. Are there any particular, well, here we go. Are there any particular types of treadmills that you would recommend for exercising in VR? Ooh, there is something called an Omni treadmill. You see these things commonly at like a V-arcade type thing. Let me show you what that looks like. Eventually, if my computer doesn't crash, which it might. I'm holding my breath. I'm really holding my breath, dude. Oh. Oh dear. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Hold on. I'm probably, you know what? Yeah. And we're back. Sorry about that. Where was I now? There it is. Yes. Omni 1 prototype. Here's a good question. Can Unity connect to the driving wheel? Yes, it can connect to a driving wheel that has been prototyped for games. Like if you think of all those like driving simulators, those driving joysticks, you can absolutely connect to Unity. I think Uzman did something like that. Any thoughts of the future of XR use for non-humans? You know, I really want like some sort of heads-up display that shows us like what a dog's actually seeing. So what I think, it's interesting that you asked this question because when I was experimenting with like face tracking and all that stuff, there was like a specific comment in the documentation that was like, currently only tracks human faces. Currently. Who knows what they're going to do next? Let's see. How would Elon be able to transfer your spirit into the cyborg? Your spirit is the real you. As one of my good friends once told me, there is only one Nakisa that can Nakisa like Nakisa can. Just like you, virtual entertainment TV. There's only one virtual entertainment TV that can virtual entertainment TV like virtual entertainment TV. Let's see. Thoughts on the future of holographic telepresence, and somewhat related, how will people take selfies if when they only have wearables? Paul, 99999999999. Thoughts on the future of telegraphic presence. Interesting. You could get very dystopian very quickly, or get a little hopeful with it. Who knows? It's hard to say. But what I really, really want to see is somehow connecting to the electrical impulses that our brains sort of interpret as images or as things or as touch or smells or something like that. So wouldn't it be awesome if we had a holographic presence that also connected with how your brain interprets things? I think I read this study about how people were sort of not really convincing, but they were sending pictures to a brain by using electrical or electrodes that were attached to different areas of their skull, so that the pictures that they were sending were just electrical impulses. So they did see something. The picture they were sending was like a picture of a forest, and they saw a forest just because of these electrical patterns on their brains. But if you think about it, like, what is a forest? What is each individual idea that this person interprets as a forest? Is that the same as the next person? Like, we can send electrical impulses to a brain and have them see a picture, but is that interpretation of the picture going to be the same across the board? And then the next idea, or the next thought I had about that, is that if we could like volley videos and whatnot just by electrical impulses to someone's brain, couldn't you potentially have like an infinite amount of resolution? Interesting. So my idea for telepresence would be that like you have a hologram that is also connected to the nervous system of your body. Ooh. Oh, Susan, I do not know who Onyx Ashanti is, but that is an amazing name. Onyx Ashanti. Like connecting to the new union driving wheel? Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. Ooh, good question. What's the best way to incorporate 360 video into a Unity project? So, you do want to follow Circuit Stream on your YouTube. You want to subscribe, hit that thing, because we had a pretty recent workshop all about 360 videos in Unity and in VR. And that's something that you're going to want to check out. I think Circuit Stream can send in a little link, send you that sauce. Oh, Virtual Entertainment TV. Hi, Herb. Good to see you again. David has also purchased a looking glass. I have one too. I was a little disappointed, to be honest, but I got like the lowest resolution one. I'm sure the highest resolution one is amazing and fantastic. But yeah, it does let you show holographic images on a device. It's pretty nifty. I believe that like Pixar and Disney are using this thing to do their modeling, like their character modeling. Mind control in AR, yes. Very cool. Any 360 cameras you would recommend? Any favorite? Again, do check out that 360 workshop that we have here. I'm not really someone that you want to ask that because I don't have a lot of knowledge on 360-degree cameras. There was one time where I borrowed a bunch of GoPros and like taped them to a stick. So might not be the best person to ask there. Favorite PC game from my childhood. My favorite PC game. Well, PC game, does it have to be PC? No? Okay, I'm gonna go with Nintendo 64. It was Majora's Mask. It was absolutely Majora's Mask. I loved it. It was also like extremely existential, especially for like a 5-year-old kid. Whew. That was deep. Let's see. Do I have a favorite XR dev related pun? Hi, Elena. I guess it's not really like an XR dev related thing, but I always like this joke about like programmer knowledge, and it's like when my friend said, "What rhymes with orange?" and I was like, "No, it doesn't." Get it? Flips table. One of the best things about puns is people's reactions to puns. I love it. Love it. It gives me life. So what are you guys working on? What you guys working on? Elena, I know what you're working on. It's great to see so many familiar faces in here. It brings me great, great joy. You know, one of the best things about being an instructor at Circuit Stream is seeing the progress of some of these students, and it's like, you done good, kid. And some of these people, they actually go on to publish some stuff, which is great to see. It's super cool. It makes me a proud hen. If you guys are lucky, maybe a bit later on when I'm like finished my tea and hopped up on caffeine, I'll give you a little sample of my chicken impression, which may or may not be entirely embarrassing. Who knows? This is true. This is true. At Circuit Stream, we have a sorting algorithm, and we call it the sorting hat. Gryffindor! You are Gryffindor and Hufflepuff and Slytherin. I do have a little portfolio. Thank you very much. I may have a little website that is unfinished. It has little samples of my some of my little circus stuff. I'm not like a legit circus performer. They tell me to dance and I do it. Ooh, good question. Do you use VR AR outside of work? What for? Am I on the Beat Saber hype train? I do use VR and AR outside of work. I am a pretty avid gamer. Sometimes that's VR, sometimes that's I heard a knock, but I don't think that's me. But I'm a gamer and I like to, because I am a developer and like an indie game developer, I call it research. I'm not playing games, I'm doing research. Mom. One of the things that I have been enjoying right now is like it's just super relaxing. Um, and it's something called, hold on, let me bring up my Steam. It's something called Wakamaria Valley in New Zealand. It's basically just like a little walking simulator. You explore the area, and it's very much like what was that other little game there? It's very much like that Iceland game. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's just like it's really simple. It's very relaxing. And there's also, Suicide Guy. Suicide Guy is so much fun. So Suicide Guy is I'm pretty sure the developers of this were like brainstorming ideas, and it's like, what is the most shocking thing that we could do in VR that we could make people experience? Suicide. So this game is basically all coming up with different creative ways to do the thing in VR. Aw, Susan. You're one of my favorite students. Oh God, you're gonna make me cry. Oh, that's a good question. Not sure if somebody has already asked this, but what project, work, or hobby has been the most fun for you to work on? Ooh. That's tough. That is very tough. I would say that it's not specifically a single project that I have loved. It's more of like I love the process of learning with every single project. And in the process of learning these things, like you make a lot of mistakes. So in that sense, I love making mistakes. And I think that's the most fun. Dance with Fire? Yes. Yes, Tilt Brush is free. There is actually a Unity SDK here. There is actually an SDK that you can use in Unity. Let me see. If you just Google like Tilt Brush Unity SDK, you will be able to find it. And it has like you have capabilities like importing the stuff that you draw in Tilt Brush into like Unity. You have access to a whole bunch of different brushes that they have and different materials and all that stuff. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff that you can use in that Tilt Brush SDK. Any upcoming projects? Yes. So one of my projects is going to gather a lot of hate, probably. But the sole purpose of this project is to prevent the player from doing the thing. And it's called Do the Thing. That's the project. And so this project, it's a very simple task that the player needs to do. And there's a selection of like 3 different goals. One is to get the ball into the goal, into the area, into the thing, or ring into the circle, that sort of thing. The other one is to fit the shape into the hole. The third one is to get the correct color. So in this game, Do the Thing, the environment changes and you don't know about it. So everything not everything, but like some things in the environment, depending on like, and you don't necessarily have to see it. It's not like readily available that like the environment is changing, but basically most of the environment is preventing you from doing the thing. So in one example I have, it's you have to throw the ball into the area, into a goal, or whatever I've decided. And so you don't know it. You don't know it yet. But there's an invisible plane right in front of it. So you would think that like just by throwing it, you could get it into the thing. You could do the thing. Progress. But no. And if you're not careful, it'll move around it. So the environment changes to prevent you from doing the thing. So eventually the player would just be so frustrated, they'll just like, do the thing, just do the thing, do the thing. And that's one of my projects. Big scramble. If you were to guide someone through on a learning journey about XR, how would you chunk things down? Ooh. Learning journey about XR. There was a very good YouTube series made by the people who made League of Legends. And it's on YouTube, and it's called So You Want to Make Games. And So You Want to Make Games, it has like 10 different episodes. It's made by Riot Games. It's produced by that. And it goes into what actually goes into making a game, because it turns out making a game and like all the techniques that we have been using and developing and creating these games can be used to create worlds. And all of these techniques are applicable to a wide range of things. So the techniques that we use to create games in like a 3D surface or a 3D world are basically the same techniques that we want to use in XR. Some of the designs is going to be changing because now you're not just using tools. You're not using a mouse and keyboard anymore. You're using your entire body and that bodily awareness. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it human. So if you want to learn more about starting your XR journey, start with learning about what goes into making a game. And if you find that you are weak in one area, in particular C# coding, there's us. Will this doing the thing experience be widely available? Yes, it'll be on all platforms. Vive, Quest, Rift, all those things. Yes, it is exactly like a digital Takeshi's Castle. Send a bunch of emails on my work emails. Hey, let's do the thing, right? Just do the thing. Do the thing. Yes, This is it. That's the one. That is the thing. Thing. The other project I got going around here is it's called Stupid Cupid. So I've been experimenting with Unity's ECS system, which is its entity system, and it's really good at having a whole bunch of different game objects that are roughly the same and having like programmable AI and pathfinding. So if you're creating like a city that has like a lot of people and like car simulations, ECS is going to be your answer. You're going to want to explore that. So my stupid Cupid is all about like you are an invisible force called Cupid, and you have one name tag that is one person and one name tag which is the other person, and you have to manipulate the environment so that these two people, just by chance, by coincidence, meet. You may or may not have the right idea if it goes well. But yeah, that's another one of my projects. Currently, I'm focusing on do the thing. Do you think that one needs to have experience in developing games or to be a game lover to become an VRAR developer? Does that help having a passion in games? You know what? You don't. You don't need to have experience developing games or to be a game lover to be an XR developer. The techniques that are used in game development are really, really useful in being a XR developer. So all you really need is passion, not necessarily in games, but just a passion to create things. So there's a neat little thing that I've also been doing with the HoloLens and sort of experimenting with that. And it's very much it's heavily inspired by something called Monument Valley. And that's a mobile game, and it's all about like Escher like visuals. So on the HoloLens, one of the things that I really like about it is that like you're not just limited to using your controllers to do things. You aren't limited at all. You can use your hands, you can use your entire body, you can dip, dive, duck, and roll. Dodge a wrench. um, so one of the things that I've been sort of toying with and sort of creating a design for is heavily inspired by this Monument Valley. It's just in the HoloLens and using some Microsoft services and its Azure cognitive services in general. So what this thing is, it's you have a character, and this character is on like, has anyone ever played like Mario Galaxy? If you think of one of those little balls or those worlds, and it has that sort of gravity, imagine that little ball is something that you can pinch and expand and squeeze and turn. But the catch is, this little dude will fall off. So you have to get this dude from one point to the next point by turning and twisting it in such a way that he figures out where he's going, much like Monument Valley. But you have to turn the environment to make sure that he stays on it. Otherwise, you kill him. We don't want to kill him. We don't kill him. Any good jokes? It's happy hour. You know what? Why does the Finnish Navy have barcodes on their ships? It's so when they come back to port, they can Scandinavian. I can feel the eye rolls and I love it. Is there a difference between commercial HoloLens, development HoloLens? Not really in terms of hardware. You do get Azure credits if you get your I forget if it's the commercial or the development. But you get some credits for that. I forget which one. Yes, Seti Joe. I'm gonna think that you're actually a Yeti that lives in northern BC. But you're yes. So I guess it's the development that comes with the Azure credits. Yes. Okay. If you are, or if anyone wants some like inspiration into what to create using Unity, you can head on over to the Reddit thread r Unity 3D. That's one of my favorites. Ooh, the HoloLens 2 truly has less resolution and clarity than HoloLens 1. I once had a comment on that at a prior workshop, but didn't expand on it. So, one of the reasons why the HoloLens 2's production was delayed a little bit was because it uses like a lot of like crystal displays, and the precision that's needed to manufacture these crystals is actually quite variable and quite sensitive. And not all headset waveguides is called, not all headset waveguides are actually the same, because in it we're dealing with like molecular differences when it comes to creating these waveguides. And sort of any sort of difference in that, we can't really control yet on a manufacturing level. So you'll see if you have a headset, sometimes you'll see like little starbursts a little bit. And if you compare one headset to the next headset, you'll see that there is a slight difference in the sort of reflections that you see there. So that's one of the reasons why the resolution may appear to be less than the HoloLens 1. The field of view is significantly larger than your HoloLens 1 as well. Clarity on your HoloLens 2 versus HoloLens 1, they're roughly the same. There is like a little bit of a manufacturing, like I said, like a little bit of that manufacturing differences in the HoloLens 2 headsets. That's a good point. That's a good point, Chris R. Ooh, so, what do you think is the next game-changing advancement in hardware that will benefit the XR experiences, like robust indoor positioning tracking, new remote control schemes, eye tracking? All those things are really great, but so I've been playing around with the iPad Pro and its LiDAR scanner. And if you want to learn more about the LiDAR scanner, there is a recent LiDAR workshop that Jerry has done. So he's been playing around with it, and I've been playing around with it. And I have to say, I am incredibly impressed by the LiDAR scanner that these things have. So it may not actually, like, we know how to do positional tracking, we know how to do control schemes, we know eye tracking, we know all that stuff. The difference in these things is sensor fidelity. And the sensor fidelity of these LiDAR scanners is pretty incredible. Like, what? And now I'm not really a fan of Apple. Apple's kind of a dick. Anyways, so, but these LiDAR scanners are really powerful. And I'm very impressed because with these LiDAR scanners, you can basically do what a HoloLens is doing just on a phone. So it's not so much that like techniques to do things are really a game changer, it's sensor fidelity. So I would be interested to see what Samsung's response to LiDAR scanners on their phones are going to change. Hey, Eric! Any sense of the difficulty of getting started with HoloLens development versus Oculus Quest? Whew. Well, the HoloLens is built around, well, not really built around, but your easiest time to develop on the HoloLens is to use MRTK. And MRTK can have a little bit of a steep learning curve in that it's not set up to be like the XR interaction toolkit. How it works and how it's configured is very different than like Steam VR or Oculus integration or all those things. Its philosophy around being as generic as possible makes it have a different backbone, a different system in how to create things. So once you understand how generic it is and how like the pointer system works, how your input system works and the configuration profiles and what's supplied with you in your MRTK package, you'll start to get like a firmer grip on how to create these HoloLens experiences. So I would say on a scale of 1 to, oh my God, I want to poke my eyes out and like scream at a volcano while I'm inside of it. I would say cutting through the jungle with a machete as you're being chased by a giant ass tarantula that eats birds. Chris R., I think you would agree. While dancing with fire. Pro tip, kerosene tastes very sweet. Do not breathe in. That's okay. Sometimes totally using that to circus communities are always very tight knit. Always very tight knit. It's a great and wonderful thing. Um, there is this little. You know what? Cirque du Soleil has a VR experience that's on the Oculus store, so that'd be interesting. There is in Montreal. There is this neat little park that like all the circus performers would go to like practice their craft. It's called Tim Tams. And I'm just like I am flabbergasted at the level of skill that these people practice at. It's incredible. I am not there. Right? Tim Tams are just delicious. But you have to bite one end and then bite the other end in like a diagonal way so that way you create like a little straw and then you can like in your tea. It's delicious. You missed the bloom gesture? The whoop. Yeah. Is it possible to use MRTK to add that back into HoloLens 2 apps? It is possible, yes. It is very possible. You can use a bloom gesture. So in the MRTK, you can let me see if I have an example here. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen just for a little bit, see if it'll. I should not have done that. I should not have done that. Now it's going to freeze. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Hi, guys. I should not have done that. But in MRTK, if you have your configuration profile up and you have cloned it, you can use your input system and have like your gestures. And in your gestures, that's where you can have some description of your bloom gesture. And your gestures can either be like hold, tap, navigate, and it's action. You're going to have to define your own input action. So maybe that's going to be like your bloom gesture direction and some of that stuff too. Now, along with that, you might want to create like a new pointer handler, like your pointer profiler. And that's actually how you would create your own bloom gesture. However, that would only be specific to your Unity application. I don't think by default that you could switch between like your wrist tap and then your bloom. I don't know. I kind of like the wrist tap though. It's just like bloop, bloop. Kind of makes me feel like a cyborg. If you need to develop AR for wider scale use by students in K-12 and higher ed, that's cheap. Would I pick Android or iOS or something else? Why not both? Your students are going to have Android phones or iPhones, so you might as well make something that is cross-platform. So why not both? You know, it does both. Air Foundation. Air Foundation is so stable, Bedrock would be jealous. Sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. That was a lie. Ooh, thoughts on WebXR? I would like it to be more accessible and more stable. There is definitely a pain point in the AR environment, in that like every AR experience has a specific app that you need to download. So like a single point to sort of have that standardized would be great, you know, but people don't really want to do that. So WebXR would be a very, very good idea when it's stable and when XR stuff doesn't cost a lot of resources. Good question. So when you are using AR Foundation and you're creating an app that is both for iOS and Android, you will need to include both of these packages in your Unity project. If that'll answer your question. I love you too. Ooh, what is the most difficult bug that I fixed? Ooh. So a difficult bug that I fixed. This might get real gross, but also real hilarious. So one of the projects that we did here at Circuit Stream was this what do I say? It was like an apartment inspection. And so I had to make a toilet in VR. And it had to overflow, because that is one of the things that you check for. You check for if your toilet is clogged and it overflows. But one of the bugs was that there is a certain plane where your water level will reach, and when it reaches this level, it'll fall over the toilet. But for some reason, the event that was supposed to fire when this water level reached the appropriate level, it didn't overflow. It didn't. And this was very frustrating, because I'm just like flushing in this toilet in VR, just like flushing it, and just overflow. Turns out it wasn't actually my bug. It was working perfectly fine. But how the damage was being applied to this room in specific, that was actually ignoring my toilet. You can't ignore the toilet. Don't ignore the toilet. So what the thing that was sort of being fixed there was to actually just like include the toilet in the damages, and then it was working just fine. in this little application, there was also mouse poop in the light fixtures. I don't know how they got up there, but apparently that's a thing. Ooh, W3C is working on WebXR standards right now, right? Yes, you are correct. And yes, everything VR, dedicated, centralized place. Please. George, you ask great questions. Any situations you can think of where you'd go straight into something like AR Kit or AR Core as opposed to AR Foundations, like abstract layers? Yes. For very specific things, AR Kit has different functions than AR Core. So if you are using AR Kit specific things like your LiDAR scanner, or even like body occlusion, like human body occlusion, that's an AR Kit. Even body tracking is an AR Kit. AR Core doesn't have that. AR Core has different face tracking techniques. So it depends on what specific things that you want to go into. AR Kit also has object recognition, but it's very strange how they do object recognition. You have to like download this Unity app, unzip it, and launch it to your phone. Take a 3D scan of your object, save that to your AR cloud or to your iCloud, and then like pull it into your project, and then you can use that as an object reference. So yeah, so it depends. It depends on if you want something specific that AR Kit or AR Core has. You know, it's funny you mentioned this. One of their comments was they wanted to make things dirtier. apparently tenants leave apartments in incredibly messy situations. I do not want to experience that. It's almost St. Patty's Day. And one of my favorite things is limericks. So there was this little limerick that just like it was just there, and it was let's see if I can remember it. It was there once was a turtle of the sea who always had to go pee. He did a little dance, and then just by chance sat down and drank herbal tea. Don't ask me why. Oh, come on, guys. That was an awesome limerick. So, what other questions do you have? Oh, wait. We got one. There once was a man from Nantucket. Waiting. There once was a man from Nantucket who once had a lovely bucket. He didn't call it a pail. It wasn't very stale. But oh no, my brain isn't working. No, I don't know that. I don't know this limerick. But somebody can finish that for me. Oh, okay. We'll answer one more question, and that'll be it. That'll be it. It's from Eric. What is my favorite VR AR experience that I have played? Favorite VR AR experience. Tonandi. Absolutely Tonandi from Magic Leap. So yeah, it's Tonandi. If you do have access to Magic Leap headset, try out Tonandi. It's pretty great. It's pretty powerful. I am not a clone. Nobody can clone me. Maybe. I don't know. Well, that is the last question. Will forever hold your peace. And if that is everything, I hope you had fun. And for all those people tuning in after, I hope you had fun too. So, no problem, guys. No problem. For this neophyte. That's a great term. Absolutely, guys. Tune in next time. Stay tuned. Or as I like to say, it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how this plays out. See you later, guys. Keep in touch.